Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah. In case you don't know me, or it's your first time, or if you're just coming back to watch this video, I welcome you all. So today we're going to talk about more interesting stuff. And hey, if you've already subscribed, thank you very much. And if you haven't and you're still watching me after now, that means you find my content interesting. So please do subscribe and let me know by commenting in the comment section, like, share, and then off we go. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my video. How are you guys doing this beautiful day, this good morning? Today we have all natural background. So in case you're newbie, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in case you're stable, you've been here long enough, thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and sharing the videos. And I hope you find my videos a little bit educative or helpful in whatever situation you are. Yay! So today I want to talk about some very sensitive topic, especially for interracial marriages. So in case you're in an interracial, international, or whatever you want to call it, or intercontinental, whatever you want to call it, this kind of marriage, I'm gonna talk to you today because I'm in one of them, and it can be pretty good and pretty ugly, huh? But all in all, we give glory to the Lord. So today we are talking about raising mixed kids, okay? Raising interracial kids, mixed kids. My people from my background tend to call it half-caste kids. I don't know why it's called half-caste. It doesn't make sense to me ever. But anyway, I'll just call it interracial kids. Okay, is that fine with that? Yeah, so I've watched and seen lots of kids in interracial marriages isolated, discriminated, they're not given priority, you know. They just like somebody who was used to acquire something. And let me make a disclaimer, this does not necessarily mean all mixed kids, but majority that I've seen so far, according to my experience, don't judge me and don't misquote me. They're just like, you know, they just used to acquire something and then they're left, you know. So they're left in their own world, or they're left alone, or they're with the parents, but the parents or the caretakers are less concerned, you know. They're just trying to fight for themselves. They don't have a sense of belonging. So since I also have interracial kids, I want to break this barrier. So if you're interracial kid, or you're parent to one of the interracial you're parent to one of the interracial kids, and then you're feeling guilty, or you're interracial kid and you're feeling jilted, come, we have to talk about this. So today I'm going to give you priorities, what to prioritize when it comes to these kids. And I'm not saying the other kids are not special. No. I have to make a disclaimer, every child is special, but I am specifically talking about mixed kids or interracial kids because this has been a topic in my heart, and I just made my research about it, and now it's time to bring out the explosion of what I've learned, what I've seen, what I've experienced, and we learn together, So there's no expert when it comes to raising kids, because kids have their own brain. And by the way, they're very smart, very, very smart. Oops, it's neighbor walking with a dog in the street. So sorry about that. They're very smart, like I said, and anything that God created that has its own brain cannot be controlled. You just have to, find a compromise and prioritize on, what's more important and what's not important. Yeah, off we go to the topic. Yay! So yeah, how raising mixed kids. What are the challenges that we have? Oh boy, these kids are not easy, and there is no easy kid out there. If your kid is easy, then something is wrong. Everything comes with a challenge. Every package of every child comes with its own challenge. So what should you prioritize about when you're raising mixed kids? First, I had a conversation with my daughter lately, and then she asked me, but she was then in kindergarten, now she's in the school, and she asked me, Mama, I was like, yeah, where do I belong? I was like, what do you mean where you belong? You belong in this family? I was like, nein, Mama, das meine ich nicht. I said, okay, what do you mean then? It's like, Mama, am I white? Am I black? What am I? I don't know, like, whoa, let me call your daddy right here. So I called the papa and I'm like, can you explain this? Because I wasn't prepared for this question. He's like, me neither. So we had to put our heads together and sit her down. We were in the kitchen, she was helping me cut some tomatoes, and we were making some chapatis and stuff like that. And then we just paused everything, and then we went and sat down, and like, she's called Victoria. By the way, you can check her out on our YouTube. She also has a YouTube channel. So check her out. She's called Zawadi, Victoria Zawadi, on her YouTube channel. And she's like, Mama, where do I belong? And she was damn serious. I'm like, why? Saying, Mama, a kid in kindergarten, they had some very mean child in kindergarten. It's a she. She said, brown skin girls are not liked. I'm like, And I asked her, did she tell you a brown skin girl? And she was like, yeah, she told me that. And she's like, Mama, you're black. I'm like, yeah. And Papa, you're white. And he's like, yeah. And then I asked her, but when you cut your leg last time, what color came out? And she's like, red blood. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you saw me cut myself before when I'm cutting something accidentally. What did you see? Red blood. She's like, okay. I was like, okay. Then Papa last time hurt himself. What did you see? Red blood? It's like, yeah. I said, yeah, we've seen eyelash. We're all the same. The color is just... and then I just showed her. I just brought out a white paper and asked her, what color is this? And she's like, it's white. I'll ask her, is your papa white like this? And she's like, no. I was like, so why do they tell you that your papa is white? And then I brought out a brown and asked her, is this your skin color? She said, no. And she's like, then why should they name you brown skin girl? And then I brought out a black bag. Exactly this bag. I asked her, is my skin color like this bag? And she's like, no. I was like, no, why should they tell you that your mama is black, your daddy is white, and then you're brown skin? And she's like, ja, bestimmt, Mama, ich bin nicht braun, wir sind alle gleich. Ist like, ja, genau, das sollte in deinem Kopf bleiben, dass alle Menschen sind gleich. And she's like, okay, Mama. Sorry, I'm mixing this in German and English because this is the kind of conversation you always have. So I'm just trying to like tell you my story or tell you her story or my family story, and to try to give you like a proper link of the situation and give you like a proper understanding of the background of where this story is coming from. So we just told her like every human being is equal. We all have red blood, and we are human beings, so nobody has to treat you badly because of your skin color. However, There are people who are just sick in their head, or they just had a funny situation, or they just didn't understand. They're just brought up in the system that, hey, you have to discriminate against black people and you have to discriminate against white people, and such people are there. So now we have to prepare her, because the ball has already been rolled to her court. We have to teach her how to kick it back or to accept it, But first was the acceptance. Most important for me is for her to accept that they're going to call her brown skin or they're going to call her black girl, and she has to accept it, because this is her culture, this is her heritage, this is who she is. She can't deny it, and it's just given to you like blah, and you cannot reject it, you cannot deny it. It's just a part of her, and just so like, you're beautiful the way you are, despite your skin color and despite what you look like. You're just beautiful. Sorry, the street cleaning truck is moving around and I have to wait a little bit. It's gonna get a little bit noisy. How is it progressing? How is she loving a new school? How is she loving her hair? Just talk about these things that it may not matter to us because we're already adults, or we grew up in society where we're not the minority, like everybody look the same. So we might not have faced this, but these kids are like the minority here, and somebody has to boost them up to make them feel comfortable in their own skin, in their own hair texture, and let them know that it's okay to be different. Yeah, so that's the things I shared with my girl, and up to now it has really worked and it has helped us. So I'm just gonna go on now straight to the topic, straight to raising mixed kids in interracial marriage. What we have to do, how we have to go about it. Like I said, I'm not expert, nobody is an expert about raising kids. We're just juggling around and trying to see what works best in what situation. 9 Li, in case you hear me saying 9 Li, the guy here, I was just walking up, saying hello. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, the guy is up. In case you see me looking down sideways, just know I have a little bit of divided attention, and that's okay because it's my first priority anyway. Yeah, so things to prioritize about when raising mixed kids. Number one, like I said, because of this discrimination and stuff, they're always very strong-willed kids. I must say, they have such a strong will, and you have to find an even point to break this strong will, not completely, but just to find what works in between. Let's say give it a functioning system that is both good for them and good for you as a parent, because it can be so draining. I won't lie that everything is perfect. There's no perfection when raising kids. So yeah, that is my first point. These kids are very strong-willed. 9999999. So you have to have strong opinions on when they say no, you say no, and then you give a reason, explain it to them so they can understand. And it's like, so bestimmt, ne? You just find a choice ahead of them. You have to be like 10 minutes ahead of them. So if they're coming like, can I have this? And then it's not good for them, you can just give them a choice, give them another choice. For example, maybe they're coming for bonbons. You say bonbons are not good because they make your teeth decay, or and then you can give them another choice of something else that is sweet. You can give a choice of a carrot, apple, watermelon, something that is sweet but healthy, and something like this. I just use this like an example, and you also have to talk to them about multiple heritage. Number two, so Multiple heritage is very important. Talk to your child about your heritage. Don't be shy. I've heard a lot of people, mixed kids are like, oh, I can go to my my mother's or my father's home village, and I'm like, why? I'm scared of Africa. I'm like, what the hell are your parents telling you about Africa that you're so scared of Africa? Huh? So yeah, all this Boko Haram. I said, no, not Boko Haram. Is not from all the countries in Africa. Boko Haram is only from Nigeria, and not in the all of Nigeria. So you have to tell your kids something nice about your country. Educate them, because hey, be proud of where you're coming from. It's not every part in the country that is bad, even if there's some things that are bad, but there's some things that are good. So don't focus on the negative one. The news and all the TVs already putting the negative things as the front lines, to sell. That is the way they sell the business. So you have to find a way to tell them the nice things that exist and be honest about it. There are nice zoos, you can tell them about it. There are also rich people in Africa, so don't make it like everything in Africa is just poor, 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 poor. Explain your culture. Your culture is beautiful, it's lovely. Explain it to your kids. Show them on YouTube, instead of only making them see the negative stuff about. Let them love the heritage, and try to explain your culture to them. Might not be in depth, but just give them the beauty of the culture, the beauty of multiple culture, the beauty of having a multiple heritage. Not everybody have it. If you only have one, it gets boring. But if you tend to explain it to them, explain the country to them, let them love it, let them understand it, that if I might not have it easy here, I have another heritage I can go back to, because you never know. Life can happen anytime, anywhere. So, and if you already told them only the negative things and nothing good about your background, you lose. Hello. Wake up to the good things, to the positive things from your homeland, and tell it to your kids. Okay, let them learn about it. Yes. So another thing, like I already told you guys about how my daughter was identified by one of the strange girls in a group has brown skin. I'm just gonna tell you guys about skin color. Don't lie, don't sugarcoat it, just tell them the way it is. Okay, you're brown skin and it's beautiful. Skin color is just a pigmentation, but some people just take it the wrong way because that's how they're brought up, or that's how they learned it, or that's what they see, that's what they're exposed to in the media. But you are different, people are different. We all have same red blood, isn't it? So just explain it to them in a simple way that they can understand. This will help boost up their morale. This will help them feel confident. And if somebody tell them about the skin color, right now, if you approach my daughter and you tell her your brown skin is like na und, and what you have to say again about my skin color, she'll just tell you like that. And what you have to say about my skin color, just let her be proud of it. It takes time to make them proud, but the earlier you start, the better. I started a little bit late. I started with 4 years, but just let them love the skin color. Let them feel good about it. This is just some small things that help. And then another point is try to speak your language. Might not be perfect, because even just practicing English with her was hard until it came a point where she noticed that majority of my cycle speak English, and her daddy, majority of his cycle speaks English, and most of the times we're home, we're speaking English or watching a movie in English, and then she has to ask every time, what does it mean? Oh, what did he say? And then she just realized that, hey, the whole world is not rotating on German alone, but English is rotating in the whole world. So she started picking interest by herself. Sometimes I would sneak in and she'd change the cartoons to English. So she picked interest, and now she's speaking a lot, much better than before, speaking a few stuff in English. So teach them your official language. Let them learn about it, because if you only insist that die muss nur einfach Deutsch lernen. Deutsch ist wichtig, weil man in Deutschland lebt, oder? Ja, so Englisch ist auch sehr, sehr wichtig, weil überall kann man mit Englisch überleben. Aber man kann nicht überall nur mit Deutsch überleben. So, ich würde sagen, Englisch ist wirklich sehr, sehr wichtig. So, my mother tongue is not English, but official language spoken in my country is English. So I try to teach her English, and then I try to teach her the greetings in my mother tongue, you know. And my mother tongue is spoken by very few people, very few, because we have like over 50 languages in my country. So, and majority of the people in the country speak Swahili, and my parents speak Swahili. So the best option for me was to teach her in Swahili. So, you know, just teach her a few basic stuff like how to greet. Sometimes I send her in Swahili and then she's still not understanding, and then I, you know, say it again, hey Eli, and then try to explain to her like, oh, I meant this, and you know, that sticks in her head. Then some foodstuffs, I also say the words in English and then in Swahili, and then she knows that, oh, like for example, she knows ugali. So I think she can never go hungry in East Africa. She'll say ugali, ugali, and then you know she's hungry, she needs ugali. You feel me? Yeah, so these are some of the basic things I want to talk about, like your history, you know, where you're coming from, like I just said before. Make them feel proud to be a part of the history, you know. So now let's talk about race and racism. This is very sensitive, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. And this matters a lot. And the way you explain it to your child of biracial marriage is very important. So tell especially the boys. Oh my god, I see lots of boys get shot because their trousers are sagging and they look like criminals, or the way they dress and they look like criminals, or they are artificially identified as criminals in their heads, you know, and then they just say, oh, they're not taking school serious because of, you know. I would say you as a parent, this also matters a lot. Hello, if you're not working and then your child wakes up and sees you just wake up to a cigarette, or you just wake up and you're home the whole day, you have nothing doing, you just wake up on TV, and then, you know, everything is a mess in the house, and then what do you expect? So I was now gonna explain about this race and racism thing. Even if you've never fallen a victim of racism does not only linger in between the light skinned or the dark skinned. Even the dark skinned discriminate against the dark skin, or the dark skin prefer the light skinned people. And this is very common. Racism is everywhere. But if you've ever fallen a victim or never fallen a victim, this is a must discussion you should have with your child of interracial marriage, or even not only interracial marriage, even just normal marriage, race-mate marriage, I would say it. This is a must-have discussion. Come on, talk to your child. It exists. Don't leave them behind curtains that they'll just come out and there's a weapon before them. This is like a terrible weapon that is all over the world now. So let your kids know about it. Don't leave them ignorant about it. Inform them. Now, for example, if your kid is of brown skin like they identified, and then the police stops you, hands up, hands on the wheel, or hands on the dashboard, you know. Police says hands up, hands up. Don't put your hands in the pocket, okay? Just do what they're telling you. You lose nothing to be respectful. You lose nothing to, you know, follow instructions. And don't argue, because the more you argue, you make the situation intense, you know. They stop you, you stop. Pull over. Come out of your car, you come out. With your hands up. They don't have to tell you hands up. When they're saying hands up, you put your hands up. Clean hands up, not with a comb in your hand, because some are crazy. They already have this in their head that you're carrying a weapon or something, or you're carrying a knife or something. And do a finger or anything. Just hands up, hands straight up. Boys, this affect the boys more than the girls. So to stop you, hands up, both hands up, clearly showing them your palms that your hands are up. If they turn around, you turn around, still with your hands up. Don't do anything crazy, okay? This is the world we're living in, and you have to be fully prepared for it. And don't go following strange friends who are telling you that, oh, you don't have to put your hands up. Why should I put my hands up when they're not telling my friend? Just put your hands up, okay? And don't try to take over when you're told to pull over. This is, for me, very important because I've seen lots of life being shed away, faded away because of something very silly that you could actually just obey and you're good to go, you know? Put your hands up, put your hands up. I will not say this 1,000 times enough, but I will just keep saying it. Put your hands up means put your hands up. And wear decent trousers. Don't go and sagging your pants anyhow. You look immature, irrespectable. Put your trousers up. Wear gently like any other normal human being. And go to school. Get your school done. When it's time for work, get your work done. Don't be hanging where you're not supposed to be. Do the right thing at the right time, in the right place, and nobody is going to shoot you at your work, okay? If it happens, accident, God forbid, but we pray that such things don't happen to our kids, you know, but make them feel like they're relating to the system. They have to adapt to the system, because if you, the parent, is doing the opposite, what do you expect the child to do? It's going to do the opposite too. But just teach them to be straight in their line and know what is the right thing to do at the right time, in the right place. Yeah. For me, getting your school done. Let's say you're living in this elite life, legit life. Who will come to shoot you in your office, yeah? If you're doing, let's say you're doing your business, you're prospering, they'll respect you. You're doing a sensible job, your manager, they'll respect you. They see you doing your work, they'll respect you. The system will respect you, the people will respect you. You're dressed in a gentle way, they'll respect you. You know, some things just come with command, you know. You don't have to. But if you're just sagging your trousers, it's time for school, time for work, and you're on the streets, come on. They will see you as something crazy. Sorry, my attitude has changed, because this is something that I cannot explain long enough. But you know, maybe some child will see this and it will help them. Yeah, I think I've talked enough. These points are enough, and I've emphasized enough. You know, I've repeated myself enough. I didn't want to use any complicated words that you might not understand. I just use very simple, basic words, and I repeated myself several times, and I hope that this helps you in raising your kids or improving yourself as a kid of another race, of intermixed culture, background, intermixed marriage, and you know, just put your life on focus, you know, because you cannot push the burden to your parents. Maybe they divorced, or they're single parent, or the other parent didn't accept you, or the family didn't accept you. That is automatically gonna happen with some families because they're crazy up here, but it doesn't have to put you down. It has nothing to do with your future. Your future is in your hands, and you have to take responsibility of what happens to you in your future and not pushing it backwards. If it's affecting you so much, take therapy. If you want to talk, I'm always ready. You can talk to me. Like I said, I'm not professional, but where I can help, I can help. Okay? I love you guys, and have a wonderful day. And to all the kids who are facing such discrimination, such situation, my peace, prayer for you, and I hope that everything goes well. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Those are my cheers. Cheese, delicious. Cheese. Yeah, that's my son. So, in case you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe, like, share, follow, and until the next video, bye bye. Love you guys. Cheers.